Jackob twice while he was in Seattle. First time in February 19th and February 20th, and again on March 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. The first time when I visited Jackob, he was very, very happy. He was excited to see me. We talked a lot. We talked through the day, Saturday, the 19th of February. He talked about the culture, about Miel Bola, Otole. He talked about life generally. And yes, we laughed because that was Jackob, always happy. Very briefly, I recall when the nurses came to change him, cheeky as ever, he said, "Now that my brother is here, you are pretending to be modest, but when he turns his back, you try to find every inch of my body." That was Jackob. The same day in the afternoon when the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, now Speaker of Parliament, called, I could overhear him saying to her, "I am forming a football team so that we can go out and play." And of course he laughed. That was Jackob. Jackob faced death courageously. He faced death courageously. He never backed down. And he fought. And so, I would like to take a moment to truly start by thanking His Excellency, President Yoweri Museveni, for doing everything in his power to ensure that Jackob had the best medical care possible. The best medical care possible. And Jackob was aware of that. He said to me, "Opio, I'm very grateful for what the president did. And I know he cares so much about me that if someone went to him and said, 'Mr. President, based on scientific evidence, there is the leaf of a certain tree, if you pluck it, Jackob Oulanyah will get well,' I know that the president would have done it himself just to make sure that the right leaf from the right tree was plucked for me." So Jackob was aware. Secondly, I want to thank all Ugandans for the outpouring of love and support that came from across the political aisle when Jackob was very ill. Your words and prayers of encouragement helped to sustain him for as long as possible. And now the same love and support for the children will ensure that they continue to heal. To my nieces and nephews, Diana, Andrew, Didi, Ezra, Karen Atim, Christian, Kimberly, Colin, I say this to you. You have lost a father, but you've gained a whole nation to support you, encourage you, guide you, and nurture you. And to this end, let me sincerely give thanks to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Anita Mong, now called Auntie Anita by the children, for what you've done and continue to do for the children of Oulanyah. My deepest appreciation also goes to your Lordship, Chief Justice Owindolo, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Ruth Acheng, Honorable Norman Bao behind me for your continued support of the family. Finally, I want to thank Mrs. Donna and Ambassador Robert Masolo, who took care of Karen Atim while Jackob was in hospital. To the Masolos, who are not here, but if you are listening, know that your deep friendship to Oulanyah meant a lot to him. He had confidence and trust in you, and your continued support to the children gives meaning to the phrase, "It takes a whole village to raise a child." Lukumu wedoa da lok le bachuri lok weng madong na mero wajima machala an la point Manti Associate Vice President me University me Western Ontario ma University ne ki chaka nendwe a biron me de ma de mo ali ba chel ki mi abor ki piera bir we abor mandong no kar mo ga mi chel piera bit donc ane dana ma chol ma ti magi kero I University Machado, senior leader. Amita medlock ma la diru koro waju. Ada Oulanyah ma wunu tiga lokinye tutwal ma tiga borne. O age kwene o age kany. Oulanyah age kany pien la dit museo kore. Wan tek nge wa choni kwan pire tek. Uber ka winyne kombere chan. Fu dog noyo. En wa ching tin nge tini kwan pire tek. Ka Oulanyah no po kwano. Oulanyah no pechero kamo. Chiada anon pa be noy maduong. Amita duong umien Oulanyah matikany Francis Emona ubien porekoma wekdong en ben wono nene no one watiga choy book. I was working with Jackob Oulanyah to write his memoir, and one of the people that he talked about so much was his brother Francis Emona. And Oulanyah took care of his little brother as they went to Lalugi Primary School. And of course, when bullies were trying to bully him, Francis Emona, Oulanyah was there to protect his little brother. So, Francis, please come forward. Lord.
The Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the Speaker of Parliament, Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Chief Justice, all the ministers around, members of Parliament, the clergy, all protocol observed. My name is Francis Joel Emona. I grew up with Jackob together. We lived together. I knew him for the last 54 years. So nobody else knows Jackob more than me and Muse. He is a father, he's a mentor, a friend, a relative, and mention it all. I want to thank very much His Excellency, the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Museveni, for the handsome support he gave to my brother when he was alive. He did whatever it takes to save his life. I am grateful, and we are grateful as a family. To the Speaker of Parliament now, we cannot do without your help. You helped us, you supported us, we are greatly honored. Everybody who took care of Jackob, you can't say someone is more important than the other. You cannot talk and forget Honorable Minister of Health, Jane Ruth Acheng. She's an amazing minister. We very much appreciate. To the clergy, one particular person who I don't know whether is here is Reverend Canon Christine Chimani. I don't know whether she's here. I would like in a special way, if she's here, please come over. This is the very person who took care of Jackob's soul. She has been a very great mother. I know she may be weak, but I would like you to say something and be very strong, just like I am. You have done the greatest thing in our family. Please greet the mourners.
All protocol observed. I want to appreciate the people of Uganda for the support they have given to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament. I want to appreciate the President, the Speaker, the members of parliament, the cabinet, and especially I would like to appreciate the clergy of all walks of life, the intercessors who really prayed for Jackob. I also want to appreciate Mama Janet Museveni. She even sent a devotional to be read to Jackob every day. I thank God that I was there and I saw Jackob through illness from 2017, and every part of his ailment he shared with me, and I really put Jackob's life into the hands of God. I thank God that I was able to pray for Jackob 2 hours before his death. And earlier than that, at least every day. He recognized my voice, and I am very convinced Jackob is a repented sinner, and he has gone to be with the Lord. May God really take charge of him in eternity. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As I conclude, I know time is not on our side. I'm very grateful to my Mzee Nathan Okori. They were personal friends with Jackob. Jackob loved him so much. To just pull back a bit, the day of Jacob's travel to the US, I was supposed to go with him. But in a way or the other, I didn't travel. Someone told me when we were in a meeting that blood is thicker than blood is thicker than water. We were in a meeting with the Chief Justice, and someone came and said, "You cannot do anything in this house without my consent." Mao told that person, blood is thicker than water. Now, when they took our blood, they found that I was the closest person to Jackob in the blood. So I was supposed to go for blood or marrow transfusion. That's why I went to the US. But it was too late. These people stopped me from going. Maybe I would have helped my brother when I was there, because I told him, any organ of mine, I am ready to donate. But they stopped me. This is the pain I have. That person who stopped me, you have seen what has happened here. Jackob is alive. You just witness it now, right here. I'm so grateful. Jackob left us with his children here. Mzee has talked about it, and we'll talk about it at another forum. Jackob, as his first son, Ojok Andrew. Ojok is a very educated person that we would want the government and the people of Omoro who believe in the NRM and otherwise, that we are fronting Ojok to take the legacy of his father. We want Ojok to stand come by-election for Omoro. We want your full support. Please stand with the family and we take this man through. This is my special request for the people of Omoro especially. I know there are people who want to come in, but let's consider the family and the whole Jackob has done. has left us with now. This thing which happened here had a very big meaning, and let's not take it for granted. I am very, very grateful. Jackob died, he left us with the children. Jackob married Dorothy Nangwale. That was his first wife that we saw all when they were down there putting the rings. Dorothy passed on, our body is here, and that is where we are going to lay the husband next to my brother. After a while, Jackob, of course, as a man, met other ladies. But there came Lady Winnie, a more that we all witnessed Jackob wedding Lady Winnie. For a reason, actually Lady Winnie called me yesterday and said everything she could say as a person, and said she is not going to be able to come, neither are the children going to be able to come, and nobody should masquerade that is going to take care of the children of Oulanyah. She is there. She will come. She has a little, she will come at an appropriate time when the baby is a little grown and bring the children of Oulanyah to lay flower on their father's grave. This is from Winnie. So take it from me, I heard from Lady Winnie. They actually spoke a few weeks before Jackob's death. Jackob left no woman on earth. This you must know. There is no woman that Jackob came and introduced to our family. So Jackob went and left us with the children only. And that is the task we have, and we are going to carry on. I thank you very much. May the Lord take care of you on your journey back home. I know you have come from all parts of the world, parts of Uganda. We can identify and say all the, during his time when he was campaigning for the Northern Chair, I think God told Jackob that I am going to give you everything, but you will not enjoy anything. Because he wanted to be the member of parliament. They gave him. He wanted to be the vice Northern Uganda. They gave him. He wanted to be the speaker of parliament. They gave him. All whatever Jackob wanted was given, but Jackob did not enjoy. I think it's for a reason. I thank you very much.
Loke dong mako dogwa chalo ngwen no kwok. Loke late. Your Grace, the Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, Your Grace, the Archbishop Emeritus, and all the clergy, forgive us for sounding like we were not paying attention to your sermon. We are only human. We thank you for your words of encouragement. You have told us not to be afraid. We are not afraid. We also that we are involved in spiritual battles. We need prayers, not only for this place, not only for Northern Uganda, but for the whole of Uganda. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Madam Speaker, Prime Minister, Cabinet MPs, fellow mourners, mine is simply to speak as someone who has known Jackob Since 1988, I knew him as a young man. He has many friends here. Jackob belonged to the whole of Uganda. When a tree is still standing, even if you are short as me, if you are far away, you can think you are as tall as the tree. But when the tree falls, you realize its true height. Today, we have all seen the true height of Jackob. I want to thank Mzee Okori. You gave Jackob to the party to which he belonged on behalf of the Acholi and Lao people at northern Uganda. The party he belonged to gave Jackob to the whole of Uganda and the world. We are here to celebrate what Jackob gave, not what he took. Jackob was a giver. To the children, Atim said it best. The only debt you have to pay is filling your father's shoes. Your father has left you with a passport, more valuable than a diplomatic passport. Because whichever office you go to, you only have to say, I'm a son or a daughter of Jackob Oulanyah. Whoever is in that office will stand up to receive you. Make yourself worthy of that passport. Don't shame that passport. And we are here to tell you off in case you are bringing shame to that passport. I believe that there are kinds of leaders. There are situational leaders. Those who see a situation and take advantage of it, then they become leaders. Then there are transactional leaders who carry out a trade. Give me, I give you. Jackob was not a situational leader. Jackob was not a me kind of leader. Give me, I give you. Jackob was a transformational leader. One who sees something and wants to add value. Jackob lifted up many children. Jackob was educating hundreds of students. Jackob started a radio station. Jackob was involved in cooperatives. Jackob was the biggest promoter of Atiak Sugar. Jackob was our voice in the nation. Above all, Jackob supported the Church of Jesus Christ and even the Muslim faith and all other believers. That is the Jackob that I know. People are saying, why is Mao and Chief Justice Owindolo talking a lot? You may not agree with what we are saying, but we beg you to understand. Just understand what we are saying. Because I know Jackob would be doing for me what I'm doing for him now. The other day when I went to speak at the NRM Secretariat, people were saying, now he's gone to NRM. If I were the one who had died and DP was hosting my memorial, Jackob would come to DP headquarters. I knew who he loved. He loved very many friends. Jackob had support from all over Uganda. You will be surprised that among his strongest supporters, even for the race of speaker, was the Busoga caucus. You will be surprised. You know, I understand Africans are superstitious. When you are dead, they all feel they must say only good things, fearing that you may do something to them. So even those who mocked him while he lived now are praising him to the heavens. To the young people, before you take up leadership, be ready. Jackob was ready by the time he assumed office. He was our speaker in Makerere University. He was a pillar of support to me. Jackob was kind. When I collapsed one time in 2014, Jackob called every general in Uganda, telling them to find a helicopter to take me from Gulu to Entebbe. General Temawan should be here. Jackob called him like 20 times. General, Mao is dying. What will you tell the people if Mao dies? You always say you are the biggest general. You order a helicopter to go and take Mao. Jackob did that for me. When I was campaigning for parliament, Jackob gave me his entire salary so that I could come and fight here. I believe we are mourning because we knew what he still had to offer. So what do we give back? We have started the Jackob Oulanyah Education Foundation. The directors are people who are reputable. We have got the Chief Justice as the chair. We have got the Speaker of Parliament among the directors. I am there. Honorable Robert Mwesigwa Rukari, who is the chairman of the NRM Entrepreneurs League, he's there. We have got Senior Counsel Francis Gimara. We have got Mr. Francis Emuna, his brother. We have got his sister-in-law, Stella Yodon. And we have got Frank Othembi, Counsel, Director of Law Development Center. And another friend, Stephen Kajubi Sepuya. People are attacking their Acholi leaders, attacking our MPs, that they want to receive money from government. That is untrue. When we launched this foundation, it is the Acholi community that put together the first 165 million shillings. 165 million shillings from the Acholi community towards this foundation to take care of these children and other dependents. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, through a motion moved by Honorable Beatrice Anywa, has announced that members of Parliament individually are contributing a total of 554 million shillings towards that foundation. I'm saying this because people talk a lot how they will love the children, how they will visit them, how they will take care of them. The moment the body has been lowered, that is it. Me, I'm a straight talker. I don't want to pretend. I'm 55 years old. I think I'm old enough to speak my mind. Let me conclude. We saw Jackob alive. People said we were bribed to come back and deceive the country that Jackob was alive, whereas he was dead. How much money should you pay me to deceive Ugandans? How much money should you pay the Chief Justice? How much money should you pay son Ezra, who saw him, to pretend that he was dead, but deceiving people that he's alive? How much should you pay the daughter, Diana? How much money would you have to pay the Speaker of Parliament or his brother? I believe very strongly that we had the privilege of seeing him. The only word they heard him say was the Chief Justice's name, Chigamoi. He opened his eyes and saw us. Tears were streaming out of the corners of his eyes. It was as if he was telling us, don't cry for me, I'm crying for you. He was crying for us, crying for Acholi, northern Uganda, and the world in which we live. I wish, Jackob, my brother, you were alive to see the love that people are showering you with. You should be here. I know the world did not treat you as fairly as you deserved. But that is the world. We are in the Easter season. Can you imagine Barnabas winning an election defeating Jesus Christ? Yes, that's how the people of Jerusalem voted. Jesus lost. The world is not fair. Tomorrow, the Chief Justice has convened a meeting of leaders here in the compound of Museo Kori. That is where we shall talk our issues. That's where we shall sort out all the issues, how he died, his illness, all those can be sorted. We are first going to put him down. And me, Archbishop Emeritus, I will not keep quiet. Atoki doga. Uno notami Jackob Cherlaling. Oneno kito mago yamu kwere kanywe. Jackob pero Cherlaling. Ubinu we odano we wicheng. These matters of Uganda require now the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Not just about Jackob, but the whole of Uganda. Let us think bigger. One day, a man and his wife went back home and found that their worker who helped them at home, a lady, they called them house girls, had packed up and left. But she had cooked food and put it on the table. Very well prepared. Nobody was there to receive them, only the cat was there. So the wife looked at the husband, and the husband looked at the wife and said, "Why do you think this lady left?" Said, "We don't know, but she has cooked. Should we eat?" Then they said, "No, she could have put poison in the food." Then they said, "Why don't we give the cat some of the food? If the cat dies, then we know that it was poisonous. If the cat does not die after about 1 hour, we can eat." So they called the cat, "Puss, puss, puss, puss." The cat came. They gave the cat each a bit of food from every plate. And then they stayed talking. Then the neighbor ran into the house and said, "Oh, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, your cat has died." But the cat had taken long without dying, and they had eaten, unfortunately. So they now looked at each other and said, "Well, the cat hadn't died within an hour. We ate, but now the neighbor says the cat has died." They now knew they were dying. So the man said, "My dear wife, this house girl left because she was pregnant and I was responsible. I want to confess before I die." And then the wife also looked at the husband and said, "Sweetheart, dear husband, you know Junior, who you love very much, that one, the father is your driver. You are not the father. Sorry. Since we are dying, we may as well exchange the truth." Then the same neighbor who had told them the cat had died ran in the house again and said, "Oh, Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so, a car knocked your cat." They said, "What is this? You mean it was not poison? You mean we are not dying?" But they had already told the truth to each other. These matters of Uganda are at that level now. Because if we don't tell the truth, we may die. Fellow mourners, Me, Chief Justice, the Speaker, Health Minister, and Emuna went to Seattle. We left you praying. We quarreled with those people who went to demonstrate outside the hospital. We asked God, give us Jackob back alive so that we can walk with him through the VIP lounge with him walking with swagger as usual. We asked God. God decided not to give us Jackob. We told God, don't make us be ashamed. Don't shame us. Don't let those demonstrators laugh at us that your man has died no matter what you do. Whether you fly him in Uganda Airlines, whether you spend millions of dollars, we told God, save us from that shame. Jackob died and we came back with our heads down. A preacher from St. Francis Chapel, Makerere, told us that sometimes God can answer your prayer the way you want. Sometimes God can refuse to answer the prayer. But sometimes God decides to do something else that you didn't even ask for. So now I'm here to send Jackob. Jackob, you are listening. You are meeting people like Lokech, he's there. You are meeting Walter Ochora. You are meeting General Kera. You are even meeting the man we call First Blood, Brigadier Pierino Koya. Tell God that since he has not given us what we wanted, let him do something in this country. God, please do something that nobody was expecting. Because we don't know what you want now. Since we don't know what God wants, we can only say now, God, do whatever you want. Because we know whatever you want will be in our best interest. Jackob wando oriba chino megini mukene kunu bak dogi bor luba waini Johnny tiga denu chancha luba ko binu tim ginu mo ko nyut ginu mo ma wan be pe waron bia kone edo mier be gina be. God must do something good. Jackob was our trailblazer. When he was elected speaker, he called me, Nobert Mao, I'm already the speaker. I was your speaker in Makerere, you are the president. What are you still waiting for? I said, Mr. Speaker, sir, the traffic jam is too much. And then he laughed. We are still in the jam. May Jacob's soul rest in eternal peace.